Hello, everyone. This is Sam with the Gent Mafia. We are back talking some NBA 2K17. This is the update that has been a long time in the making, needless to say. So, the reason why I haven't made another update, and honestly why I'm skipping part of my update, is because nothing really interesting happened. So, I just kind of simulated through. We're in the playoffs now. We're playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is the first round of the playoffs. So, depending on how the playoffs go, the next couple of rounds, we'll kind of see. Ideally, I think we still have 2 rounds to go before the finals. So, depending on how my next series or my next 2 series go, I'll probably put those into one video. And then finals, that'll probably be its own video, depending on how that goes, how much content I can get out of it, how much of an update I can give you guys. If it's kind of just lame, boring, I won't do an update on it. And then off season, we'll see what happens. I don't know what to expect from the off season in this game, so we'll see what happens with that. Anyways, we're going to talk about what we've kind of missed here. So as you can see, we completely skipped March. We're in the playoffs, like I was mentioning a little bit earlier. Skip March. Nothing really interesting was happening. The only thing that was really going on is we were just kind of jockeying for seeding in the playoffs. We ended up as the 4th seed, which isn't terrible. We're going against the 5th seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder. However, the 1st seed, the Golden State Warriors, they got the 1st seed. We're in their bracket, so that's who we're going to be playing next. Spoiler alert, we are going to be beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're going to sweep them actually 4-0. So I guess the most interesting thing that happened with this, and this is actually a change that occurred in the playoffs. So first couple of games of the playoffs, they were actually close. Game 1 and Game 2 in our home court, they were actually really, really close. We were trading back and forth. They would go on a run. They would get up by like 6 or 8 points, and then we would go on a run, and we'd be up like 6 or 8 points. And it would go back and forth, and it did so the first 2 games. We won both of them, obviously. But Game 3 and 4, for some reason, it was a complete turnaround. As you're seeing here, you're just kind of watching it. First couple of minutes in, it's already 7-2, and as you can see, Joe Johnson's playing. That's because Game 4, we ended up benching Gordon Hayward, and we went with Joe Johnson in the starting lineup. So that's probably the biggest update and the biggest thing that we've seen change with this whole unit. I think it's a very, very good thing to happen to us. So you have me at the point guard, Stefan here. Running the point guard, he has no scoring ability. We have Justice Young, who can absolutely score the ball. I don't know how they programmed him or what they did with the tendencies, but it doesn't seem like he's aggressive enough. I'm not sure if that'll change or what'll happen, but it just doesn't seem like Justice is aggressive enough with his scoring, so we're kind of lacking something out of the guards. Gobert is not a scorer by any stretch. He'll get you some junk points, just off rebounds and stuff like that. So he'll do something like that. You can usually pencil him in for like 6 or 8 points a game. It's just around there. And then Derek Favors is a little bit. You can probably get like 12, 15 out of him on average. And out of me, we're looking, 4 points maybe. I don't know why. I just can't shoot. Oh, that's the other thing. I got a new jump shot style. I worked on that. I actually made my custom one. It's between Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. So I went ahead and I meshed those a little bit, and we worked around with it. Seems to be working a little bit better. I like it a little bit better. It looks a little bit more smooth. So I went ahead and I did that. So that's a cool little thing that I didn't mention earlier. But anyways, on to talking about us. So with Joe Johnson coming in, he's very, very much a scorer, very, very much more aggressive than Gordon Hayward. And Gordon Hayward just flat out wasn't playing well. He's actually, I went through and I looked at the stats before this recording. He's shooting something like 26% from the field. It's atrocious. It's very, very bad. He's actually lower. I don't think he's lower than me, but so that should tell you something about my scoring. But Joe Johnson is absolutely playing lights out right now. He's, a 20-point scorer any night. So we're looking at that. He's really, really given us some help. in the main kind of starting squad. Gordon Hayward is doing well off the bench, I would say, as well as he can do. We're also getting a lot of help from Rodney Hood. George Hill even put in some points. Look at me turn over right there. But yeah, this is the fourth quarter. This is showing you just how big of a lead we have, how not close it was. And this is at the start of it. It gets even worse at the end of it, which we'll end up jumping to in a minute or two here. But with the roster switch-ups, I feel pretty strong about us right now. Another issue I had in the regular season that I've seemed to remedy is that I was trying to do too much because of the lack of scoring from the rest of the starting squad. Gordon Hayward wasn't getting it done. Justice wasn't getting it done. Favors wasn't getting it done. And we all know Gobert's not going to score. So I was taking more shots than I should. They weren't good shots. It was an issue. It really was. So I got frustrated with the team a little bit. I'm not going to lie about that. I was a little frustrated. That's also part of the reason why we don't have a March update. I simulated quite a few games, so I wasn't feeling it. But things are better now. I've looked to be more of a facilitator for the rest of the offense. Definitely try to move the ball around because scoring isn't my strong suit. I'll give it to the guys that do have it as a strong suit, and with this series so far, it's paid off. We went 4-0. It's absolutely paid off, and then we just seem to hit our stride in like the last two games of it. So that's going to be pretty good. We're hoping to carry that over into the next round. As you can see here, a minute left, 87-66. So it was a really, really big, and then Favors just got a little score right there, 89-60. It's either 65 or 66. I can't tell just by looking at it. Anyways, I'm feeling strong. We are going to be going against the Golden State Warriors in the second round. I think they went to Game 7 with the Spurs, if I remember correctly. I'll look it up. I'll show you guys a whole little breakdown of the playoff tree in just a second here. But I'm feeling strong. I think we have a good little setup on how we're going to do things moving forward. Even if I lose the next series or the series after that, I will definitely give you guys an update on that, saying, hey, it didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. That's fine. After I'm done with the season, though, I'll probably be moving into some of the more franchise mode, I guess is what it's called, or my association or something, I think is what it is. I've been playing around with that. It's been a lot of fun. So it'll also give me some passive coins so that way I can go ahead and upgrade Stefan a little bit more. So I might do something in that. It might just be a little while before the next update's done after this playoff series and then the finals. So we'll see. But this is Stefan. As you see, we won Game 4. I actually had a decent little stat line there, 8 assists. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to jump into the stats for you guys. So we're taking a look at the stats. We're going to start off with the first round of the playoffs. We're going to be talking about those stats. So we're starting off with Justice Young. We will take an in-close look at his season stats at the end of this. Steph Curry won the MVP, if that tells you guys anything. So the Golden State Warriors were good this year. Surprise, surprise. Justice Young, 15.7 points per game. He led our team against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not terrible. Shooting a pretty good clip to 43% from the field. 44, I guess, if you really wanted to talk about it, round up. Derek Favors came in second, 13.5 points. Rodney Hood coming off the bench, our sixth man, 10.5, not terrible. Field goal percentage, good, 600. So 60% from the field. Joe Johnson coming in fourth here, started in Game 4. He had, I think, 20-plus points. So his stat line is a little deceiving here. But the thing that is most important is you take a look at Gordon Hayward here. This speaks very, very loudly about how things have kind of gone with him. Like I said, he lost his starting role. He's obviously not hurt. 8.2 points per game. That's just not cutting it as a starting forward. Shooting 35% from the field. Him and Alec Burks were tied at one point. I think they were shooting 26 or 28% from the field before Game 4. So it actually went up a little bit in that blowout win. But Gordon Hayward just hasn't been playing well, so I am pretty happy with the Joe Johnson move. And if he continues to play poorly, I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up trading Gordon Hayward. Matter of fact, I think we could get something pretty good for him, clear up some cap space. So that might be a future move that I wouldn't absolutely hate. But Joe Johnson is aging, so we also have to keep that in mind. 35-year-old Joe Johnson. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at Stefan here. As you can see, I did not have a great playoff series, at least not points-wise. In terms of facilitating for everyone else, I did pretty okay. So 4 points per game, and most of those points were not against Russell Westbrook. It was against the backup. I can't shoot very, very well. I can hit a couple wide open ones in some of the hot spots. I can do that, but as soon as there's any sort of contest, I'm not going to. I can go ahead and get to the line, make some layups, just get to the tin. But when Russell Westbrook was in, he's just way more athletic than me, so I just couldn't do it. But his backup, Cameron Payne, I believe is the name, I was able to take him to the rim a couple times. So that's how we were able to get some of our points. Our assists per game are actually pretty decent, six assists on average, 2 rebounds. That's pretty good for a 6-foot point guard. I'm not gonna be too upset about that. We didn't really get any steals. I don't think I got any steals in the series. But yeah, that tells you something right there. Look at the field goal percentage, 21% from the field. That is atrocious. Like I was saying, I can't shoot. And the cap on my character is just really, really low. My 3-point caps out at like 73, and my mid-range I think caps out at 78 at the highest. At the absolute highest, I think it's a 78. So that's, I don't know why 2K did that. I don't like it. But it is what it is. It's what I'm living with right now. So let's go ahead and let's take a closer look. Let's look back on the season here. Minutes per game, we averaged 22 minutes, I guess we'll go ahead and say. 11 points a game, that's not bad, especially as a rookie point guard. That's not terrible. 4.2 assists, not bad, looking good. A steal a game, pretty good. Field goal percentage, 41%. 3-point percentage is 35%. Those are all respectable numbers coming out of a rookie, I would say. Obviously not Rookie of the Year candidate material, but I think it's pretty good. Also looking at our overall, we're 79 overall at the very end of the season. It's looking pretty good. I have faith in Stefan getting better, especially if I can improve his athleticism to where we can get to the rim more. That'll definitely increase a lot of the stuff offensively. It may even increase my assist because then I'll be able to get dribble penetration and be able to kick it out to shooters if my shooters actually go ahead and make up the difference. But let's take a closer look at Justice Young here. So in the season, he averaged 13 points. So he is ratcheting up in the playoffs a little bit here. Almost 3 whole points more in the playoffs out of Justice Young. His rebounds have gone down a little bit, but that's okay because we have Favors and Gobert pretty well cleaning up everything for us. Assists are looking good. His steals are really good, and his shooting percentage is phenomenal, actually. I wish that he was more aggressive whenever I'd pass him the ball. I wish he would shoot it a lot more, but he just doesn't. It's something that we have to live with, unfortunately. But hopefully we can get some more scoring coming up because with the Golden State Warriors up next, we're going to have a tough time. So we'll kind of see how that goes, and I'm going to go ahead and I will take a look to see if we can go ahead and pull up the playoff tree. Okay, so I went ahead and I pulled up the playoff tree. So the Golden State Warriors were, in fact, pushed to a Game 7 with the San Antonio Spurs. That was the 8th seed, so I'm very, very confident that we are going to be able to at least pick up a game on them. Honestly, if I was going to be 100% honest with you guys as to how I think it's going to go, I think it'll be 4-2, I think is what's going to happen. I think we'll pick up a couple games. Matter of fact, I believe we're going to steal one on their home court, but they'll just end up stealing it right back. So I don't think we'll win, but if we do, it would be very, very good. The Spurs obviously give us some hope. I believe in that. We swept the Thunder. Trailblazers put the Rockets away. 6th seed beating a 3 seed. That's very, very impressive. And the 7th seed Grizzlies beat the Clippers 4-1. Yeah, that's very, very impressive. And a matter of fact, Cleveland got bounced by the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, 2K. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't like it. 7 games. They took them to 7 games and they cleaned them. Atlanta 4-0 against Knicks. That's not surprising. Toronto 4-0 against Detroit. That's not surprising. Boston, coming in the 7th seed, they upset Chicago 4-1. So the second round of the playoffs looking very, very strong. Warriors, Jazz, Blazers, Grizzlies, Hawks, Sixers, Raptors, Celtics. I just don't see how an Eastern Conference team, especially now that the Cavs are gone. Bulls are out. I don't see a team that is going to beat a Western Conference, any of these Western Conference teams, honestly. Well, Raptors, I would say, are probably going to be the strongest. The Hawks, I haven't played against the Hawks. I don't think. If I have, it wasn't a memorable game. Maybe them. But I don't see Philly or Boston getting even close. Honestly, I really don't see Atlanta doing it either. The only team I really see doing it is Toronto. And I don't think Toronto beats either. Well, I think the Trailblazers, I think that would probably be a good game. I think they would beat Memphis. So we'll go ahead and say that. So I'm going to go, we'll say that, I hate to do it. I think the Warriors are going to beat us. I think the Grizzlies are going to beat the Blazers. I really do. I think the Grizzlies are a lot better than the record shows. Atlanta should beat Philly, theoretically. But, I mean, they beat the number 1 seed. They upset Cleveland, but I don't think they have it in them. So, Atlanta, I'm going to go ahead and say, is going to take them. Toronto, I think, should easily beat Boston. And then I think Toronto is going to absolutely obliterate whoever they play next. Atlanta, Philly, I don't think it's going to be even close. So, I think Toronto is going to be in the finals, along with the Golden State Warriors. And then Golden State is, of course, going to take it. I just don't see Toronto being able to beat them. If they do, kudos to Toronto. But I just think it's going to be the Warriors. So that was my update for the first round of the playoffs, as well as going back to March. But depending on how this goes, I will be talking to you guys again. So we'll have this round of the playoffs at least to update you on, and then the off season, we'll go into that. Otherwise, I would like to do this series and then the next series if we win. I would love to showcase those for you, and then I will end up doing the finals in a separate video if we get that far. But this is Sam with the Gent Mafia talking to you about Stefan. I'm going to be signing out. I'll see you guys next time.